Okay, so I tried doing this earlier. This is take two. First take was really angry and really negative, and I pretended like I didn't care, and I pretended like I wasn't angry, but really just hurt and I don't know, disappointed. So let's begin. Some of you may or may not have noticed that I have a new addition to my face, this shiny, tiny little, I don't know, nose booger, whatever you want to call it. And reason I got it was because I wanted it, and my husband thought it would be nice, and I live in a community that it's acceptable, so I did. And for the most part, people didn't notice, people didn't comment, nobody I really care about cares. But then I got this message that said, by the way, let's just make up a name. Sarah asked me about your nose ring, lol. Ach and they. So I said, did you tell her I'm off the derech? Meaning, did you tell her that I'm just becoming less observant? Which is a knock at her, and I feel bad about it. But I just assume that this person's a very judgmental person. And the response was, I did. She was ridiculous. I was almost going to strangle her on your behalf. So, whatever. I answered whatever I wanted to say. I said, people can just judge me. I don't really care what, Sarah thinks. The people that care about me don't care. And, that's that. But I started thinking about it, and I was wondering, what was the goal of talking about me? What was the goal of, if she did, in fact? I don't know. It's gets a little bit technical if I'm actually allowed to believe that I was spoken about, or not. If you want to get into those details, I've been learning them. I'd be happy to learn them with you. But the fact is, what does someone gain from speaking negatively about someone else? And I was just getting really angry, not at the person, not at Sarah, just because, it's become so normalized and it's become so okay. And over the past year, I've been working on my gossiping and the laws of Shmirat HaLashon and not speaking negatively about other people. And I realized about a year ago, I did the same thing. I was speaking to a friend of mine, and I wasn't saying names, but then she guessed who it was. I was saying, this person just started wearing pants, and it was at an interesting point in her life, and I was just I don't get it. And my point was to understand it, and I wasn't judging her at all, but at the same time, what did I gain? Was I gonna go and speak to this person and say, I've gained some insight on why it is that you're doing this, and I wanna help you? No, I wasn't going to do that. I guess I was just curious and I wanted to understand. And you know what? It was none of my business. And it does constitute Lashon Hara. It's none of my business. Just because you're curious, just because you want to let someone else know that you disapprove, it's not allowed. It's not allowed. If there's something that you're allowed to do, according to the halachas, which I've been learning, is to start off by saying, I'm not intending to say Lashon Hara. I don't mean to bash this person. The reason why I'm asking you is because I either need you to go and approach this person for me, or I need help in learning how to approach this person because I think they're putting themselves in a spiritually or physically dangerous situation. We're in the time of the 9 days right now. It's almost Tisha B'Av. And then the reason why the second temple was destroyed was because of baseless hatred, sinat chinam. And this baseless hatred wasn't just, oh, I hate you. It was this, you're not like me, you're not me, you do X, you do Y, step off. This lack of respect for another human being. And this, you don't need to love everyone, but you don't need to distance yourself from everyone by elevating yourself above them because you disapprove of something that they've done, whether it's against Allah or it's not against Allah. It's none of your business. Everyone has their own lives, and it's just, it's just so painful to understand that this has become so normalized that there's just so much rationalization that people don't realize that it's still a problem. And every year that goes past, we sit on Tisha B'Av and we watch the Chavetz Chaim presentations about how bad Lashon Hara is and how we're still not having the temple because of it. And what? We continue on our way. And it's just so painful to me. And I started reading Sefer Devarim this week because this week's parsha is Parshas Devarim. And what is the whole Sefer Devarim? It's Moshe, before he dies, telling the next generation, this is what has happened to the previous generation. Learn from their mistakes. Just learn. You don't need to make the same mistakes yourselves, because it's going to be a vicious cycle, because A causes B and C causes D. If you do A, B is going to happen. And if you do C, D is going to happen. And you don't need to do A to see, oh, you know what? Moshe was right. B really happens when you do A. We need to learn from our mistakes, and every year that goes by, we are held accountable for not rebuilding the Beis HaMikdash. So if anyone wants to learn the laws of Lashon Hara and can't get their hands on a Chavetz Chaim book, please contact me. I will get one for you. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm so hurt. And I'm so frustrated. Not because someone spoke about me. People can speak about me. Say whatever you want. But at the same time, you're destroying yourselves and you're destroying our people. Like, is it really worth it? I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed and feeling helpless. So if anyone wants to join me in continuing to learn the laws of Lashon Hara, and if anyone wants to, during these 90s, find an opportunity where they really want to say something about someone and just keep it to themselves, great. And if someone wants to go and apologize to another person, or just give to that other person, don't tell them you spoke about them, but just find a way to reconnect instead of just ignoring the fact that you've severed a connection between you and another creation of God because of your words. Have a relaxing and meaningful Shabbos, and an easy and even more meaningful and thought-provoking fast.